I mean, life get hard. I'm telling you, life gets so hard, and then, it just keep on going, even though sometimes you want to push a pause button. You just want it to stop. All right, we're ready on Mr. Baker. Ms. Ritter, Mr. Reagan.
I'm sorry, you said Mr. Baker?
I mean Butler. I didn't mean it. I mean,
oh yeah, Butler. I'm ready. I'm Mr. Butler, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right here, boss.
Sir, we could see you. We could see you. Can you be quiet for me, please? This is case number 2150-4201. The people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Butler. The defendant is charged with 1 count of stalking. Today's the date Mr. Butler has been brought before the court on a Tether violation. Appearances, please.
For the record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Philip Reagan on behalf of Mr. Aaron Butler, who's appearing via Zoom from the Wayne County Jail.
Mr. Butler, state your name.
Aaron Wesley Butler.
Today is the date set for, or strike that. Today, Mr. Butler has been brought before the court on a Tether violation. And it appears from the report that Mr. Butler missed his court date, and therefore he was violated on his Tether after perhaps the warrant went out. I don't know if the warrant actually went out because I don't see it in the report, but oh yeah, so he had the failure to appear warrant. So we put him on a Tether, and then he didn't come to court. Mr. Reagan?
Yeah, so I'm going to be very forthright with the court. I talked to Mr. Butler, Judge, and one thing, Judge, we do every day. We wake up in the morning, God willing, and we get 2 things. We get a chance and we get a choice. Now, Mr. Butler, Judge, has been choosing to try to do the right things. He's been going out, he's been interviewing, he's been borrowing money from people. He goes to interviews, he doesn't get the jobs. They call him back, want a second interview, doesn't get the jobs. He needs a chance, Judge. And one of the things that we talked about was the fact that he needs to keep going, because he's been living in a situation, Judge, where the power, where he's been staying, they haven't paid the electricity. So he's been going down the street, charging his Tether every day. He's been doing that for maybe the last 2 months. So he's not trying to give up, Judge. But on that particular day, Ms. Court, unfortunately, he was just mentally going through some different things. But I explained to him, he's 25, he's a young man, and I understand it's hard out here. I do, I really do. But, he's doing the right things. He has to keep going. He can't give up, and I think that's important. I think he's frustrated. I think he just wants an opportunity. And he says, if I can just get one opportunity, I can do it. And I understand, he needs to, I want to encourage him to do that, but I understand, life is real too. You gotta, abide by, the laws that we have, and you got to do certain things the right way. I don't think Mr. Butler is intentionally trying to miss court. I don't think he's necessarily a flight risk. I think this situation happened, and us talking, I want to see if I can help Mr. Butler provide some information on jobs, some services, whatever he can have to try to help him, because he's trying. It's not that he's not trying. Anybody living without electricity, going back and forth, charging a tether every day, and he wasn't violated because of the tether per se. He did miss court, Judge, which, is not a good thing. But and just talking to Mr. Butler, Judge, I don't think he's a person that just doesn't care, not care. He wants to come to court. He wants to resolve this, but he wants to get his life right. And I think that's the most important thing, him getting his life right.
Ms. Ritter?
Judge, so I do understand that Mr. Butler has a capious history in this matter. And I'm asking the court to actually continue to bond with the GPS tether. I know this case has been going on since, from my understanding, I believe 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I know that the complaining witness did appear at the pretrial conference, so they are trying to pursue this matter, Judge. I'm just asking the court keep the GPS tether on at this time so that this case can come to its lawful conclusion.
And Judge, if I can ask, has there been in prior to the tether, Judge, I know it was one to probably ensure the safety of the complainant or the public and to make sure that he comes to court. He's had a problem with coming to court. I don't know if there's been a violation of contact allegation in the past, but I don't think there's been. I think his issue is coming to court. Judge, and I understand Ms. Ritter's position. I do. I mean, because it's important that you got to come to court. We got to know where you are. But I don't know if the tether is necessary, and the court may feel it is, Judge, at this time until we can get something more stable. But if the people are not opposed to continuing the bond, letting him out back on tether, I guess we wouldn't object at this time, Judge.
All right.
Judge,
Yes.
I just want to make a minor correction. So it looks like this case was disposed on June 2nd of 2023, where Mr. Butler pled no contest to the allegations. So
So
there was
what
a case
did he use from the sentencing?
I believe so.
Oh,
That's worse. That's worse. That's worse. But it didn't matter. So the tether is for two reasons. So if the case, in a stalking case, and you say he didn't have any violations, he didn't have any violations of physically going in a prohibited area. But, obviously stalking can be done in many different forms. And tethers are put on cases for two reasons. Now, my general feeling about tethers on misdemeanor cases, of course, is that I don't put tethers on, I don't particularly like tethers on misdemeanor cases. This is one of the types of cases, though, that I'm in favor of tethers. And then if a person, so the tether is put on for two reasons. It's put on to try to ensure the safety of the person that is accusing the individual of a crime, but it's also put on to ensure the person is going to show up for court. It's going to show up for court, and then he didn't show up for court. I appreciate the fact that he goes down the street to charge that tether because it keeps him out of jail. I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that he goes to try to find a place to charge that tether because, and you can go any place with a plug. The mall has a plug. The neighborhood, I don't know where he is, but places have a plug. So wherever he has to go to charge the tether, then that's where he has to go. But you missed court on sentencing day? Miss Silman, can you confirm for me what Mr. Butler KP is from?
That is correct. He did capious from to sentencing.
So on the one day that you're gonna miss court, you miss court on the day of sentencing. That's not a good look.
Judge, well, one thing I did tell Mr. Butler, I told him that, being in this situation is a blessing and a curse as well, because, you never want to be in a situation where you are charged with a crime, but to be in this court, Judge, because as I told Mr. Butler, this court, is very serious about what it does, Judge, and it's also serious about people and about helping people and about making sure, obviously, first and foremost, justice is served, but also, just looking at him as a person and making sure that, whatever sentence now, Judge, I know a sentence, and whatever sentence the court is going to impose is going to be in a position to not just, punish, but to help him move forward as an individual, help him move forward in his life so that he's not back here again, so that he can have certain tools, so that he can go out and do what he needs to do, and be successful, Judge. And I'm glad he is here in front of this court, because I'm confident that that's going to happen, Judge.
His sentencing was scheduled for July 7th. He just missed his sentencing the
Correct.
other.
Correct.
Well, it doesn't seem like I gave him a new date because he had already had a capious history. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reschedule his sentencing. There is a pre-sentence investigation. I just pulled it up. So, well, let me see if he participated though. Okay, yes. Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't participate though. So that's the second thing. There's a pre-sentence investigation. He didn't participate. But that could be, they mailed him a letter. I don't see where they called him. They mailed him 2 letters and they said he never called. They did have the phone number, but there was no answer and the voicemail was not working. So that's unacceptable. Now, what I can do is contact probation right now, see if they're able to come on. Ms. Tucker was the one assigned to do the pre-sentence investigation. Ms. Silman, call Ms. Tucker and see if she's able to Zoom in to do the pre-sentence investigation now.
Okay.
While Mr. Butler is in custody. The other thing is, I mean, life get hard. I'm telling you, life gets so hard, and then, it just keep on going. Even though sometimes you want to push a pause button, you just want it to stop, for a minute. Like sometimes I take a nap just so that all the stuff going on in the world is not impacting me in that moment. But the problem is when I wake up, life kept going. So whatever I was trying to escape from with that nap, life kept going. So I don't know what brings you to my courtroom, Mr. Butler, but you're either gonna lean in and let us help you make different choices, or you're gonna keep on going at this rate and gonna be in prison. The prisons that they built for you. The prisons that they keep on funneling money through, but we can't find no money to feed the homeless and stuff. Life is against you. The odds are against you. You either gonna sit around and pout about the fact that the odds are against you, or you gonna say the odds are against me, but I'm gonna be successful out here. I'm gonna do blah, blah, blah. It's too many opportunities. We never had all of these entrepreneurial opportunities that I see people having today. You can almost make money just, it's incredible to me. The way social media and stuff, you can sell stuff without ever having the merchandise in your possession. The young people are figuring some stuff out, and then you're gonna go with it or you're not. The places are closing. Places are closing down because they can't find anybody to work. The places are closing down because they cannot find anybody to work. That's a shame. That's a shame. One of my favorite restaurants shut down because they couldn't get any workers. That's horrible. And then, you know, how whatever you believe or whatever you feel about that, about the living wage and whatnot, whatever you feel about it, certain wages, when they go so high, it's hard for small businesses. It's hard for small business. So that's why people getting their own, trying to get their own businesses where they don't have to have any employees. So what I'm saying to you is you could keep on using excuses. You could use excuses. Life got hard. You go to the job interview, that you didn't get the job, and then you whatever. You know how many times some people successful who got turned down? You know how many successful actors and actresses got turned down and was, you know, waiting tables and washing dishes while they're trying to follow their dreams and goals? If they had said, oh, I didn't get the part, and they quit acting, we would never have some of these people, and they would not be financially stable. Do you know, if I gave up when people told me no, every time somebody come against me, every time somebody try to get me to change, if you think if I gave in and went somewhere sulking, no, you have just got to keep moving, keep going, and don't miss court again. But because you missed court, I am going to keep you on tether until your sentencing. Did we get a response from Miss Tucker?
Yes, Judge, but she said that it wasn't her case, it's Mr. Sciotti's, so she's gonna let him know. He's gonna zoom in.
Oh, she is correct. I saw her name on here, but she is correct. That's Mr. Sciatti. Okay. So Mr. Sciatti is going to now, he's going to log in. So I'm going to send you back to the waiting room. I mean, I want to send you back to the breakout room. I don't know if he can do the whole thing today. I don't know what their process is, but at least he's going to get some information from you so that if he can't do the interview today, he can know where to contact you. He can know how to get to you so we could do the pre-sentence report. So I am going to find that Mr. Butler violated his tether conditions by missing his court date. And I'm going to continue the bond with the tether. It will continue to be an unrestricted tether. However, he will have a curfew. The curfew will be from 11:59 p.m. to 5 a.m. So I don't think Mrs. Gianni. Okay, so let's set the sentencing date. Well, I guess it kind of depends on what Mr. Sciatti tells me, but that's all right. I'll still give him the 4 weeks. So today is the 20th. If we go to the 24th, let's go to August the 24th. I'll set the sentencing for August the 24th. Sentencing. That's going to be at 9 o'clock. August 24th. Bond will continue, as I indicated, with tether. And then I'm going to send the jail back to the breakout room, and hopefully, whoops. Mr. Sciotti will log on shortly. How did it immediately send him there? Okay. All right. Did I do something else? Hold on. Let Ms. Stevenson and Mr. Peoples get back in the breakout room. I think Zoom must have did that. Oh, I must not, it must have assigned automatically. Okay, that's crazy.
We keep it working like Oouchie the boss. We tryna catch up like we hit us a fault. We gotta win, ain't taking no loss.